Greetings and salutations, everyone. Happy Patriots Day, or what we know as 9/11. As a New Yorker and an American, it's a very sad and powerful day. One of the worst days in American history that I know of, that I was alive for 20 years ago. It seems like we don't talk about it as much or remember it. So I am at my city's memorial and would like to just share with you what my city has done to remember this day. We have a beautiful memorial and a piece of the structure that was recovered from World Trade Center building, or the North Tower. So I'll just share with you what our monument looks like, and just a brief little thing, and then a moment of silence for the many people that lost their lives. So this is our monument to remember the fallen. That is a piece of steel recovered. The North Tower at 1028. South Tower, 959. During September 11th attacks on 2001, 2,973 people were killed. 19 hijackers committed a murder-suicide, and more than 6,000 others were injured. The immediate deaths included 265 on 4 planes, including terrorists, 2,606 in the World Trade Center and surrounding area, 125 at the Pentagon. The attacks remain the deadliest terror attack in world history. Most of those who perished were civilians, except for 343 firefighters, 71 law enforcement officers who died at the World Trade Center and on the ground in New York City. Another law enforcement officer who died on United Airlines Flight 93 crashed into the field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania. 55 military personnel died at the Pentagon. I'm not even going to mention the terrorists, because I don't think we should. Of the 2,977 people who died, 2,605 were U.S. citizens. 327 were non-U.S. citizens. So, regardless of how I feel about certain things that the government does, I am an American at heart, and this country is everything to me. 20 years ago, I was 24 years old, and I woke up and remember the plane crashing, and history changed from then on. Sadly enough, the government lied during that, hid things that they shouldn't have. But that's not what we should remember. What we should remember is the brave heroes and innocent victims who died today, 20 years ago. Just a moment of silence for all of the brave men and women who died on this tragic day. So this is the end of my remembrance video. Sorry. This day is always emotional for me. We have a really shitty government, but we have a beautiful country. And all too often do we forget how beautiful this country is. And how great the men and women that live here are. So let's never forget this day. This is my way of remembering the fallen men and women, the American heroes who died 20 years ago, September 11th, 2001. Encounter 1. I'm nearly 16 years old, but this takes place a couple years back. I'd say around the age of 10 or 12 years old, I'm not really sure. My two cousins and I were playing in a section of our grandmother's woods, 500 to 700 feet forward from the tree line where my grandma's house is. We played there all day and had lots of fun with no problems. Then, at around 11 p.m., we were out of the woods for a little bit at this point, but I don't know where my shirt was. And I hear my cousin say, "I think we left it, and some of our other stuff is back there. Come on, let's go grab it." I proceed to hear footsteps, so I follow, being a stupid child I was. And I get back to this little clearing where we were at. I don't see my cousin, my shirt, or any of our things. And I don't hear any more footsteps, just a really weird feeling in my throat, feet, and stomach, like some force was just keeping me there. Then I finally booked it back to my grandmother's house and went inside, and there were my cousins sitting inside. I never found my shirt and still have no idea what that was that day. Today's second encounter. I live in central Sask in Canada, more towards Manitoba border. Our small town is right in the bush, a somewhat isolated community that is surrounded by forest. This incident just occurred at 3 in the morning on September 11th, 2021. My girlfriend was just getting ready for bed and she could hear this strange animal noise outside. Something she couldn't recognize, which is strange as she was born and raised in the area and is familiar with all the critter sounds. When she couldn't figure it out, what could be making these noises, she compared it to a cat or a bird, which is possible, but where it gets strange is when she went to record the sound and sent it to me, and once she started to record it, our basement window, the sounds abruptly stopped, and so did every other sound in the town. She said it was like a pin dropped, and everything just stopped at once. She then states she had a terrible, uncomfortable feeling flooding over her, and her mind immediately told her to go into the bedroom and lock the door. Since she's been in the room, she said that feeling still has not passed and feels like she isn't safe to have the windows open for air. This isn't the first time we've experienced this feeling. All right, guys, as Americans, or even if you're not in America, just as good human beings, we can never forget this day. I've noticed the past couple of years, not many people really remember or care, which is just disgusting because so many heroes died that day. So many innocent people, children, women, men, grandparents, people that never had a chance to say goodbye. We can never, ever forget this day. And it saddens me that we don't remember it like we used to a couple years after it happened, because now it's just kind of in the back of our closet like everything else. I'll never forget this day. This day was the day my grandfather died. This day was the day America was attacked, 5 days before my birthday. Be kind to each other and be safe.